Good morning, everyone. It is Julie here with your Wednesday morning stock market news, where we're getting you up to speed with what you need to know as the market opens. So let's get into it. All right, guys, welcome back. Thank you all so much for being here. We've made it halfway through the week, and this morning we have a lot to get through, including a bunch of exciting stock market news, notable earnings report as earnings season starts to really pick up, and of course we'll see which stocks are the morning's biggest gainers and losers. So let's jump right into this morning's exciting stock market news. U.S. stock futures are mixed this morning and leaning slightly to the green. Right now, Dow futures are down 0.02%, while S&P 500 futures are up 0.01%, and Nasdaq futures up 0.17%. Shares of Salesforce are in the green after they unveiled pricing for their generative artificial intelligence technology. Their Sales GPT costs $50 per user per month and comes with a limited number of credits for its generative AI tool, Einstein GPT. Service GPT also sports a $50 cost and has a limited number of credits for Einstein GPT as well. Back in March, Salesforce said that they would be integrating generative AI into every facet of the company, including sales, service, marketing, commerce, and IT interaction. Analysts currently rate their stock a moderate buy with an average upside of nearly 4%. The UK's Competition and Markets Authority has provisionally cleared Broadcom's acquisition of VMware. An independent CMA panel provisionally found that the deal would not substantially reduce competition in the supply of server hardware components in the UK. They said that the potential financial benefit to Broadcom and VMware of making rival products work less well with VM software would not outweigh the potential financial cost in terms of lost business. The deal is valued at $69 billion, making it the largest acquisition to be investigated by the CMA. Johnson & Johnson will have to pay out $18.8 million in relation to a baby powder legal settlement. The jury awarded a plaintiff in California the $18.8 million in damages after they claimed that the baby powder was responsible for his mesothelioma. The case was the first in 2 years in talc-based litigation against Johnson & Johnson after thousands of other cases were halted as the company attempted to separate its talc liability in a Chapter 11 bankruptcy. This case was allowed to proceed due to the plaintiff's ailing health. Analysts currently rate the Johnson & Johnson stock a moderate buy with an average upside of nearly 15%. And shares of Teladoc are continuing to rise after they announced yesterday that they'd be further collaborating with Microsoft to use their AI software in clinical documentation. The telehealth provider intends to integrate Microsoft's Azure OpenAI service and Azure Cognitive Services into the Teladoc Health Solo platform. By doing so, the two companies say that it will automate the creation of clinical documentation during virtual exams, helping to free up time that would be spent on electronic paperwork and administrative tasks. The Teladoc stock is currently rated a moderate buy with an average upside of 23%. Now moving along to notable earnings reports. The after hours will be busy today. We have some big names reporting, including Tesla, Netflix, United Airlines, International Business Machines or IBM, and Las Vegas Sands, to name a few. In the pre-market this morning, we've heard from Activision Blizzard. They came out with mixed results, and we also got the news that their deadline for the merger with Microsoft has been extended until October 18th. For their second quarter, they reported earnings per share of $1.08, coming in 20 cents ahead of analysts' expectations. However, on the revenue side, they did miss by $130 million, reporting revenue of $2.21 billion. That figure did grow nearly 35% year over year. Analysts currently rate their stock a moderate buy with a fairly flat price target. Shares of Carvana are soaring this morning, up over 30%. The company reported better than expected revenue, but also said they expect to be adjusted EBITDA positive by Q3 and filed to sell 35 million Class A shares. They said that Carvana performed exceptionally well in the second quarter and set company records for adjusted EBITDA and gross profit per unit, which was up 94% year over year. For their Q2 revenue, they reported $2.97 billion, which beat expectations by $360 million. Analysts do currently rate the Carvana stock a hold with a big downside of 58%, but more recent ratings have been coming in as buys. Also reporting this morning was Halliburton, who came out with mixed results. For their second quarter, they reported earnings per share of 77 cents, which came in 2 cents ahead of expectations, but revenue did slightly miss by $60 million. It came in at $5.8 billion, while that did grow over 14% year over year. Analysts currently rate their stock a strong buy with an average upside of nearly 20%. Chip maker ASML Holdings came out with both an earnings and revenue beat, plus an increase to their full-year guidance. They're now anticipating 2023 net sales growth around 30% compared to their prior guidance of 25%. They reported Q2 earnings per share of €4.93, while their net profit was up 35% from a year ago at 1.9 billion euros. Their stock is currently rated a moderate buy with an average upside of 6.5%. Moving over to the finance world, we did hear from Goldman Sachs. Now, they came out with a big earnings miss, but they did warn us that their Q2 would include a lot of write-downs. This is due to the company's repositioning as it moves away from consumer finance and slims down its portfolio of investments. For their Q2, their earnings per share came in at $3.08, and that was a miss of $1.06, so a big margin there. Revenue of $10.89 billion did beat expectations by $160 million per share. Analysts currently rate the Goldman stock a strong buy with an average upside of 18%. And we also heard from U.S. Bancorp. They came out with both an earnings and revenue beat, but their 2023 net interest income outlook did disappoint. Their net interest margin did narrow during the quarter due to high deposit costs and higher cash due to debt ceiling concerns. For their Q2, they did report earnings per share of $1.12, beating expectations by 2 cents per share, and revenue of $7.2 billion just beat expectations by $10 million. Their stock is currently rated a moderate buy with an average upside of over 17%. And let's take a look at which stocks are the morning's biggest gainers and losers. No big surprise on the gainer side. Our big leader this morning is Carvana following their earnings report. Trading under the ticker CVNA, the stock is currently up 33.5%. They're followed by Frontier Communications under FYBR, up over 11%, and Immunovant under IMVT, up about 9.8%. Our biggest losers this morning are led by Toast Incorporated. They're cooling off after some gains yesterday. Trading under the ticker TOST, their stock is down 10.4%. They're followed by Quoin Pharmaceuticals under CNRX, down 9.3%, and Joby Aviation under JOBY, down about 8%. So that is going to be everything for Wednesday morning's stock market news. If you made it to the end of today's video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and say good morning in the comments. I always love hearing from you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you back here next time.